Australian.
Yeah, Australian basketball.
Shit. It's called
Is it NBL or something?
NBL, yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you about how I used to play basketball and I used to have a bipolar NBA, NBL certified coach, dude?
Nice.
Like actual bipolar.
My sports teacher asked me what my favorite sport is, and I said esports, and he was like, "Okay, fuck yourself then."
Mamma mia, dude.
That is not being a good sport. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, what a fucking loser, dude.
I think I missed out on the hype. The hype was in the initial too. The best thing that ever came out of Mortal Kombat was the theme of the movie. Fuck the movie, but the movie was the most unnecessary thing that needed to ever be made. But that was a sacrifice required to be made to get that song out of it. I'm telling you, man, the hype that fucking little kids get through the early 2000s and the 90s from that goddamn song, I'm telling you, man. You could start a fucking fight because of that music, dude. So good. So good. Or how about in Greece, I remember in 2001, it was very popular for that one summer, was Bloody Raw on the PlayStation. Everyone played that. And then everyone got sick of it and went back to Tekken 3. But for that one summer, it was the summer of Bloody Raw. Yeah, I'm extremely afraid of losing my rank because I've been into green twice and it killed me the first time I lost it. And then when I got it back, I'm just like, ugh. Just don't give a shit. You're right. You're 100% right. But if you saw me those days that I lost it, I was psychologically really bad. I started my days on tilt. I couldn't get that's bad. That's my problem. I need to fix that. I'm not saying that I don't want to lose rank because I get all angry. I'm just saying that it really hurts when you try for 2.5 months, you get it, and then the same day I played ranked in green, I demoted 2-3 times in 5-6 consecutive matches were all losses against greens, and I got way washed down the bottom. It's a mental one. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sports mentality issue, not a oh fuck, I'm losing my rank. Yeah. So that's this is sports psychology, real sports psychology. When you're down 3-0 in the soccer match and you have to turn it up to 4-3, you have to beat them. You can't play in a negative mindset of I'm losing 3-0. It's no, I'm just gonna put a goal as if nothing ever happened. It's sports psychology, that stuff. And then you start losing. Yeah, it's tilt. That's why. That's what my rule is, right? Remember how I talked about my grid, the grid system. This is the first thing I did to help that problem. Because sometimes I would lose 3 times. Let's say this blue Noctis. I lost 3 times. I stopped. That's it. The first time I found him, it was I lost 1. I won 1. It was 1-1. Then 1-2, 1-3. Stop. I went back into the lobby, and because I'm in Australia, he came back again. And then I lost 3 times, and then I stopped. That's it. You can't keep losing all the time because you're not going to get better if it bothers you. If it doesn't bother you, go for it. But yeah, stuff like that. And even with a blue Heihachi that's a higher rank than me, when I was playing Heihachi, I beat him 3 times and I stopped. That's it. Imagine in tournaments, this feeling is 10 times worse. Of course. It's the same when for me, I studied music in university, right? So performing on stage and all that kind of stuff is a different feeling than performing in your bedroom. And, whatever stress you have, in practice, if you go and do it live, it's 1,000 times worse. So you have to make sure that practice is perfect and comfortable. So once the tension, the stress of performing in front of a crowd of people that want you to do everything correctly, you don't feel as bad. You feel just a bit nervous because you're in a live environment. There's nothing worse than losing matches that matter on technicalities and not your own ability. If I lose to someone that outclassed me, it doesn't bother me a bit. But when you're losing because of weird stuttering or whatnot, then it's something that's taken away from you. You didn't get a chance to give it all your effort. Ice Cold TV. Fucking what a sick name, dude. What do you think of boosting? Doesn't matter if you boost. It's deemed unethical, but in my opinion, no matter what your real rank is, you'll get sorted into it immediately. Even if you've been given if someone gave me a Genbu account, give me 2 days and I'm back to green or something, because I'm just not ready for that. And other kids that like to get some 12-year-olds that get a boosted plat 3 account in League. Dude, they'll be bronze in like 2 weeks, dude, if they're really shit. The only time where I see that's an issue is in team-based games, like League of Legends and Dota. If you get boosted accounts, it can usually destroy a rank. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure Plat 5 is almost as bad as Bronze 1 because of the amount of boosted people there are up there. But, you know, yeah, it's useless. Especially for one-on-one fighting games. You'll get put in your place really quickly, and it won't disrupt the flow of the hierarchy. If there's like a 10,000 boosted people in Genbu right now, they'll be gone in 2 days. They're not going to dominate a rank. Unlike in League, where it can actually cause a confusion and a congestion in the ranking system. So, I think it's like, the people who sell boosted accounts are just making money, and the kids buying those boosted accounts are wasting their money. At the end of the day. It doesn't bother me. Like, whoever's a real Genbu and they're fighting another Genbu, it's 3 points. They get them, they demote them, they promote to Seiryu, whatever the fuck the next one is, or Byako, and that's it. And then if the Genbu that went to Byako with 3 points meets a real Byako, the Byako's gonna kick his ass and put him back to Genbu. Everything kind of sorts itself out, you know? The only sticking point, in my opinion, are the low ranks. But that applies to any online game. Elo Hell, like the first couple lower tiers, is where all the shit kickers are. And it's really hard to get out of it. Once you get out of it, it's a breath of fresh air. So I'm like right on the upper end of the shit. Like green rank is the last piece of shit before things start to cool down. It's like with League. Like you get out of bronze hell, then you go into silver hell, and then you're in gold, and all of a sudden you're playing like a human being against human beings. What's up, Petro? I just finished year 12 yesterday. Holy shit, you're done. You're done. You're a free man. And I don't know how to feel. I feel happy, but I feel sad that I won't see some of my friends. At least you watch the streams more? Maybe that's the silver lining. If your friends try to keep contact, you keep talking. If they don't, you'll eventually grow apart, but that's life. Oh, right, about Raijin. Yeah, fair enough. When you get a job, you can make friends there as well. Yeah, sort of. I think that the best friends you can make are the ones that are within your circle of interests, I think, more than work. Because work shifts around and, you know, things happen. But if you have like a community external, then those are the kind of ones that hang around. But that also is a thing like with your uni friends as well. Like basically, you know, depending on how things go, catch them outside. Make plans outside of school. There's always a way to see friends if you put in an effort, yeah. Because it's a mixture of things. It's like, you know, people growing into different paths. So, like, you know, people just kind of diverge to their own paths and stuff like that. But, yeah. It's usually the long-term friends are found in university and beyond. Like, on average, that's what I'm trying to say. On average. Especially in, like, big cities like this. In Greece, where I grew up in the island, it's different. Because we're the same group of friends, usually from kindergarten till university, almost, right? So it's kind of strange, you know? I'll definitely try to catch up with them outside, but I don't get to go out too much due to my parents being strict. Yeah. Well, that will start to loosen up over time. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Definitely playing games online is a great way to make more friends and make a community around it. Yeah. And sometimes if you put like an outing in with a purpose kind of thing, so, you know, even if you've got strict parents, you can say, hey, I'm going to let's say a tournament, a fighting game tournament. Then they get it. It's like, okay, you're going for an event, you're competing. It seems a bit, you know, more proactive than just going out and hanging with friends at a pub or something, you know? Although you can probably do that in between the tournament or before and after, right? Yesterday. Yeah, it's kind of, like, I know what you mean when you're talking about, like, it's depressing and all that shit for losing your friends. But I've been like taking samples, right, of people. I've been talking over the years for this, right? And it's a mixed bag. Depending where you live, it's a different result. So, for example, like if anyone in Sydney, for example, and I've known some people in Melbourne and Queensland that I've talked about it with, and it's strange. Like they just say that high school friends really aren't that tight knit afterwards. Like in the beginning, it's a bit fucked up and weird. But people kind of get over it quickly. That's the general consensus. Not for everyone, but very common in general. And people that I know that are from like either immigrants or from small towns, it's a bit more harder on them. because usually a lot of people people in big cities kind of disconnect. There's no real community sense, right? It's just you hang out with whoever's around, and then you got to move, and so be it. You just kind of adapt quickly. Fuck yeah! Oh, he got him on the fucking forward, and he gets the wall. Beautiful, beautiful. And for me, it's kind of weird because here, for me, it's probably been pretty hard because I finished high school in Greece, and in Greece it's a small island. We're talking about like a few thousand people where everyone knows each other, so it's very tight knit. And the majority of people that are friends in high school, well, friends since probably kindergarten. So from 5 to 18, it's the same, almost the same group of peers. Even amongst different schools, even though we may change high schools over time or primaries, they're all so close that we hang out after school anyways, right? So everything's like really tight knit. And when you finish high school, you're in that year 12 final class, and it's just like that's your crew. And then the way it works is that when you go to university, everyone goes, fuck me, the spring kick. And so, like, for example, everyone goes to their own cities across Greece. Everyone leaves to Athens, Salonika, Crete, you know, Corfu, different towns, right? Larissa, all that kind of stuff. So they go to all their different cities. They all kind of disperse. Sorry. So with my island, like everybody's like knows each other, tight knit, blah blah blah. Finish school, and then everyone goes to different university everywhere. Some people, you will see some groups will pick the same university so they can move together and get an apartment and share. But even if they go to some wacky like different place, every holiday we always return back to the island. That's just a thing, right? So every, let's say, Christmas, Easter, and summer holidays are all done at the island. So even though everyone's kind of gone during class periods, you may get like 3 months of summer, like 2-3 weeks during Easter and 2-3 weeks during Christmas, that everyone still hangs out. So it's really weird that like after high school, everybody you go on Facebook, for example, and you have all your friends there, and like say, for example, every summer you get all the group photos, like with all your friends, all the crew's group photos are there, and you're like the only one missing. And it's a fucked up feeling, dude. Every year, it's been like 8 years now, and I just, you know, they've been like hanging out for like 20 years now probably, and you're just not a part of that anymore, and you just watch it from afar. It's just really fucked up, dude. I don't get Easter. I mean, you don't understand Easter, or you don't celebrate Easter.